Good morning. Welcome back to the Football Terrace, old school in the car. For you that have been around since the beginning, this is pretty much how we used to stream. But I'm out early this morning. Just arrived at the gym. Opens in like 15 minutes. But I wanted to get an early workout in today. It's my daughter's second birthday party today. So got family and friends coming over. From midday-ish. So I thought I'll come get an early workout in, then get home and finish sorting the gaff out. Here to talk transfers. Sergio Reguilon, I think it's pronounced, Reguilon, along those lines. Sorry about my Spanish accent being terrible. To Manchester United, the fullback, out of favour with Zinedine Zidane. We're here to talk about the Matt Doherty signing for Tottenham is such an interesting one. Completely and utterly under the radar. Completely and utterly under the radar. So that's an interesting one to look at as well. And then we keep seeing this news. Messi wants Man City. Pep Messi reunion. Could it actually happen? And the more this kind of protrudes and goes on, the more I think that this is absolutely possible. So he says, Terry isn't of course I'm not a reporter. Just a YouTuber, bro. Just a YouTuber, bro. Basically, I want to shout out as well. Yeah, by the way, RIP to Chadwick, a.k.a. the Black Panther, who sadly passed away yesterday to stroke today. I'm not too sure exactly what day. Of cancer, battling it for 4 years. And do you know what? Literally made all those great Marvel films. And especially with Black Panther, what that did for black cinema, what that did for black actors, what that did for I feel what that did for the black community, to do all that while essentially you're passing away. What a man! Like genuinely, what a man in relation to that. So yeah, I cannot say more than that, brother. Like that's just a lot of people would get ill and they allow it to own them. But the guy slayed. The guy helped change the world while going through that. Amazing. Great content, bro. Keep up the hard work. Thank you. Do you think Thiago will come because the British media are denying the reports? Listen, Liverpool are just trying to... It's not British media are denying the reports. It's Liverpool media are denying the reports. And I'm not saying they're not part of the British media, but they're part of Liverpool's kind of propaganda machine in that way. Thiago to Liverpool will happen if Liverpool are prepared to pay the price. The only reason it will fall through is if they're not prepared to pay the asking price. The German clubs, they're not messing around at the moment. Look at Bayer Leverkusen. Everything was done on Monday. Now suddenly they want better bonuses. They've pulled the rug from under Chelsea's feet at the 11th hour. We've seen this happen all summer. So from my point of view, I would just say to fans, like, relax a little bit. But if Liverpool don't land Thiago, that's simply because they didn't bid the money. There's no other rhyme or reason. This deal's been going on for 7 or 8 weeks now. And that's interesting. I'm doing some research at the moment, and I'm still only a third of the way through it, but I'm researching how long it takes for a top 6 club in the Premier League to make their first signing, and also how long it takes a top Premier League club to make their marquee signing. I've defined the marquee signing as their most expensive player in that window. Otherwise, you get stuck in the weeds debating who the biggest and the best is, and also you lose concept of the player because, for instance, Benteke was Liverpool's #1 target one summer and their big marquee signing, but because it was a flop, nobody considers him a marquee signing now with hindsight. So you have to be very fair. And it's interesting, Liverpool take on average 52 days to get their marquee signing completed. So based on that, we're only 35 days into this transfer window. So Liverpool are still well within their average, well within the average time it takes them to complete these signings. The same as Man United. Man United averaged 64 days, the exact same as Chelsea. And the reason I'm doing this research is because there's a notion being pushed that Man United are considerably worse at landing their marquee signings and getting their first signing over the line compared to their contemporaries. And so far, it's not ringing true. But we'll go through it in a little more detail when we actually go through the content. But let's talk Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi to Manchester City. That's why people are here I want to know, because for me, sometimes when you hear 2, 3, 4 years on the bounce now, you've heard Messi might leave Barca, Messi might go, and very quickly that's been put to bed. This time round feels so different. There is a different feel. There is a different emphasis. And I think I think Barca wants some money. Go back to what I said 2 weeks ago when they got dropped out of the Champions League. What made logical sense to me would be for Barcelona to cash in, get as much money as they can, and build for the future. Because they're done. By the time Barcelona build a team that's capable of winning the Champions League again, in my opinion, Messi's going to be 35, maybe older, with almost no market value left. So I think it's absolutely imperative that they get that done. I really, really do. Comment here says, yo, remember the old Ollie days in the car? The old days in the car. Big up, man, and happy birthday to your daughter. More life, peace, and prosperity. Thank you, my bro. Just looking here, says he's clearly disillusioned by what's going on in Barcelona. I agree. Do you think the wages of Messi will be the same, or will he take a pay cut? Let's work on this. So I think they'll be high. Will he take a pay cut? Maybe on paper. I think maybe on paper you'll see him take a pay cut. However, how do I put this? It's not beyond the realms of possibility that a business or the government of Abu Dhabi sponsor Messi in some way, shape or form. Whether it's a ambassadorial role, whether it be advertising for people to come on holiday, I don't know what it is, but it will be almost ceremonial. But he'll almost be, in the same way that PSG gave Neymar like a sponsorship deal so he could buy his own contract out so they didn't break financial fair play rules. I think that something like that would be done. And maybe not as binary as that. We pay this, they pay that. But they'll work a way around it. There's no problem, in my opinion. There's no problem with that. Purple here says, but the problem with that theory is he's under contract worth £600 million as the buyout clause. So they will accept no less than 200 million, and have already broke financial fair play once, 90 million to spend this summer. Well, on that, we don't know yet officially whether financial fair play is going to be relaxed. And remember, they may not necessarily spend the £200 million in a lump sum. It could be paid over say a four-year period, which is £50 million a year. Would you pay £50 million a year to have someone of Messi's level in your team? I think you would. So it isn't so much a case of just, they're going to have to pay this £200 million in cash up front. A point here says there is no point of Messi going to City. He should go back to his first team in Argentina and finish his career there. I think there's a million reasons why he should go to Man City. One being the salary. I think he's got so much more to give football. I don't want him going City or a rival club. I'd love him to go Man United, although I don't think it's plausible at all. But I would love to see him play his trade in the Premier League. I can't deny that. Josh King's come on, you Spurs here. Josh King, what's going on, bro? We're going to move on to this story now. He says, very pleased for the Doherty signing. Premier League proven, ready to contribute. Jose getting what he has asked for. Levy would never sanction a 28-year-old in the past. Let me chat on this Matt Doherty deal. Matt is a serious baller. He's comfortable in possession. He can get forward, score goals. Spurs are going to play Jose's style, which is with an air of pragmatism. That's exactly what Nuno has been doing with Wolves in the Premier League. And Doherty is so underrated. He's gone in at 18 odd million pound. I think it's 14 million plus add-ons. It's a sensational signing for Tottenham. Genuinely a sensational signing for Tottenham. That cannot be debunked or no one can kind of deter me from that belief. I can't have it. I can't have it. I think it's a serious signing. I think it's a wonderful piece of business by Tottenham. I really do. By the way, do me a favour, smash the like button for me. Do you think the selling of Messi... Don't you think the selling Messi theory, they don't have a good record of spending good money? For me... Okay, maybe. I don't know. Also, just spending... So just sending a message of support for you, doing a top job, and there are so many haters out there. Keep up the good work. I appreciate that. Thank you. Jerome with another super chat says, Doherty is such an improvement on Aurier. He is. There's no doubt. Aurier is good in elements, but as an overall football player, he's well below the standard required for Tottenham to get back into the top 4. On the haters from yesterday, I will just address this. It's interesting, really, because some really big and popular Twitter accounts that came out for us yesterday, and it's the second time in a week that has happened. I don't care if people quoting tweets from the past where I tweeted out that done deals were reported, because anyone that's actually true to what we do as a channel knows that we report on what the news is saying. So that doesn't bother me. But making up lies that I'm running accounts or pretending to be this in the know guy, I don't like that, because it's a lot of you read some of the replies from people. Oh, I'm not going to watch that guy again because I found this out now. So it's damaging to your reputation, and that isn't fair. But what I will say is I got big support yesterday. All the guys involved with the Football Terrace, KJ, Flawless, Aaron, Prime, to name a few, came out backing me. We had Grizz, of course, from LFC Day Trippers, and 90 Min, all coming out backing me socially, which was great. But I also got a nice message yesterday. I didn't read it till this morning because I didn't see it, but from Mark Goldbridge, who reached out to me personally, telling me to, relax and take some time. It will blow over, not to get kind of dragged into it. And I think, it would be very nice of Mark to reach out and do that. So it's interesting, yesterday, people were telling me that he was slagging me off on social media, and I've responded to those comments as if they were true. So I have noted the individuals I went back to the live stream and found out the people that said that, and they've all been blocked from the Football Terrace because they've obviously spread lies. And I can't be angry or frustrated at social media for allowing people to lie about me and then not blocking people that are lying about others. I think that would be exceedingly hypocritical of me. So it was very nice of Mark to reach out. But I think, my biggest bugbear with yesterday is even with Twitter. It's like, I've proven to Twitter privately, I tweeted them and went to them privately, and they've proven, because my locations and login details and IP addresses they've got, and they also know that the person that owns this account isn't me, because I know who this person is, and he got suspended because somebody reported him, and he's back again because he's proven who he is. And it's a case of, well, I want Twitter to take action against these trolls. You can't have an opinion about somebody that's detrimental to their character and their livelihood and to everything else. You can't defame them and just call it an opinion. That's completely and utterly unacceptable. And the irony is, I then showed the DMs to prove my supposed innocence, and they all went silent. And that's how you know they're trolls. And it's not about losing energy over how I feel personally. It's more about fighting back against so many of these conglomerates that claim to care about mental health. They claim to care about people's well-being. Somebody's well-being is then being damaged. Somebody's life is then being torn apart at the seams, and they're absolutely silent about it. And one of the people that did it works for a verified company with over 500,000 followers on Twitter. And there's a part of me that's like, should I reach out to his employers to show them what this guy's really like? I don't want to do things like that, because that's the man's job. I don't want to do that to him. But should I stand idly by and watch people bully and lie and defame people on social media? I must have had 150, 200 messages of abuse yesterday. Is that acceptable? This is what you've got to look at in these things. But there we go. Again, big shout out to Mark Goldbridge for his message yesterday. Genuinely appreciate that. Let's go back to football here. By the way, smash the like button for me. If Messi, from Carl, says, if Messi goes to City, do you think Arteta could use his connections to get Gabriel Jesus on loan? Potentially. Genuinely, that could happen. We had a super chat here from Pav, who says, how are you, Terry? Yesterday was just stupid from certain people. You have my support as always. Thank you, Pav. I kind of know I have your support, bro. You're one of our regular viewers and contributors. Did you see Danny Mills rant on TalkSport? He's an idiot, can't stand him. He's clueless, saying City make 40 million in shirt sales and they get 7% of sales at £70 a shirt. They get $4.99. Yeah, they might do. I mean, the thing is, Purple, it's not so much that he's stupid. What they earn is what they earn as a football club. And their turnover is there. if they bring in Messi, that their income will undoubtedly increase, and they will factor that into the calculations around affordability. This is why clubs tend to want to pay deals via amortization and via installments. The media try and make it sound like teams are being cheap. They're not. If you spread those costs over say, a 4-year period, as opposed to a predominantly big lump sum, you will have projections. Messi is going to generate much more income for Manchester City Football Club. There is no shadow of a doubt. But it's going to take time for that money to factor in, which is why the clubs want to pay the money over a period of time so that they can subsidise that and mitigate that risk and that exposure. It's just simple business. It's just simple business. Terry, did you hear about Maguire's statement yesterday? I did. Listen, the Maguire stuff, I'll give him my opinion on it. I said it before. If he turns out to be 100% guilty of the things he's accused of, I kind of want a captaincy gone as a minimum, and I want him out of the club, especially now after doubling down. But there's something that doesn't feel right about this situation in terms of the way it was handled. Apologise and there's no punishment. What? Why am I apologising for something I didn't do? So, yeah, I'm just going to wait now for the main court case before comment on it anymore. Legally, factually, Harry Maguire is innocent. He's appealed, which means his original conviction is overturned instantly. He's an innocent man. I believe that the general public should treat every single human being, regardless of wealth or status, with the civil liberties and the human rights that the people have fought and given their lives for over centuries. It should be applied to him. He should be treated as innocent until he's proven guilty. He shouldn't be abused for anything he says online. And if anybody does that, again, those people are not worth... I mean, I must have blocked 400 people in the last few weeks who are just abusing him or talking trash because, you know, for me, I'm not about that life. Abdul here says, I think you should reach out to the guy who knows his employers to tender a formal apology. They should teach him. There is a part of me that thinks I should do that. Someone here says Greek police are corrupt. Listen, I think there are policemen and women and forces and sections of forces that are corrupt in every single country in the world. And that's why I can't take everything they say as gospel without me as an individual seeing the evidence and being able to scrutinise it myself. Like from a judiciary point of view, that's what they want. So when there's a jury, they want to see all the evidence. And to say that they are corrupt without any evidence is wrong. To say they could be corrupt because there are corrupt police everywhere, I think is a fair statement. You know, we've spent the last 5 months rightfully protesting around the world against the behaviour of police officers. To suddenly, and this is global, this ain't just America or London. So suddenly, to think that in this instance, the police are 100% telling the truth without it being scrutinised, I find that so hypocritical. So hypocritical. You know, the police are there to do a job and we respect them. But part of that process and part of respecting them is their evidence and their testimony being scrutinised. It has to stand up against scrutiny. It's why you get a defence when you're... Even if somebody is banged to rights, 10 eyewitnesses, CCTV, DNA, they still have the legal right, and I know this is in the West, I'm not sure if it's in everywhere around the world, but I know in the majority of countries in the world, you have the legal human right to a defence. Why? Because there has to be credibility in the prosecution against you. The evidence against you has to be scrutinised to make sure it's as fair as it possibly can be. And if we start removing due process, we will fall down as a society. We will fall down as a society if we remove due process. Terry, your prediction for Liverpool-Arsenal today. I'm going to go for a Liverpool win 3-1. Sorry I didn't get a preview done yesterday. I was just so busy in the evening. Basically, my daughter's balloon... It was an emergency. My daughter's balloons didn't turn up. So I had to find somebody else that makes lovely balloons, have them made and I had to drive like 2.5 hours to get them. And... yeah, so life was thrown upside down yesterday. Very much a first world problem, but still a problem. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I'm not doing a watch along this afternoon. It's my daughter's birthday party, so I'll be doing that. Family time, time with her. My son's going to be important, so that's what I'm going to be doing. But listen, guys, everyone who's tuned in, thank you. Take care. Goodbye. God bless, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.